All right, so we'll start our first character here, our Way of Mercy monk. If y'all want to get in any roles, this is the time to do it. Our first monk is going to be created in the sphere of the player's handbook. So it is being tied to just a core rulebook in this case. Our second character, I will unlock all of the options, and we'll have expanded possibilities. Last night, we made our two Path of the Beast barbarians, and so we had our variant human barbarian, and then we had our Aarakocra barbarian. That was an Uthgard tribe member. And then, of course, our first barbarian was a glassblower, of all things. And each of those barbarians were very compelling as a character and really helped the world come alive. And so this character will continue to do the same thing. We're going to make a level 20 Way of Mercy monk. And I reckon we'll get things started here. Senin, will you please give me a percentile roll in chat by typing !roll space 1D100 and let us know if we have a female character, a male character, or even, hey, there's a 10% chance it's a multi-class character, in which case we'd roll again. Also, 12 for 10, if you're going to be sticking around for a minute, I can call on you for a dice roll as well. Oh, hey. Oh, it's not even springtime yet, and I have a beautiful flower crown. All the puppies! All the puppies! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They're everywhere. Oh wow. Oh, it's a brain slug, but it's green. It's green, so it's blending in. It's blending in with my background. So James, you said for the minis, what do you want to do with those in particular? Yeah, a camo slug. James, if you want a treant, I have a treant at the store. If you want to put that towards a treant, I do have a treant at the store. Oh, Senin wants to lock in background? Okay. Yeah, 40 for the treant. You are correct, James. Also, James, while you're here, will you please type !roll space 1D100? $33. All right, we have a female character. And James, thank you very much for, for your business, your trust here. And I'll make sure to grab that when I'm at the store tomorrow to pick up some other minis for people. Next up, we have our character race. And Van wanted to roll that. Van, will you roll a D9 in chat? Rolled an 8. Well, a human again. And which kind of human? Which kind of human are we? Are we standard or a variant? Ooh, pardon me. Van, why don't you roll a d10? 1 through 5, it's a standard. 6 through 10, it's a variant. Female, standard, human. They are medium-sized creatures. And you know what? I'm gonna do it. 0 dark vision. Boom. We don't even need to look in the player's handbook. Now, for alignment, Kevin, this is your time to shine. You want to roll alignment? Give me a D100 roll in chat, and we're gonna reference the balanced odds for this character. Rolled a 93. We have a chaotic evil. Our humans have been quite evil this week. We have a chaotic evil Way of Mercy monk. Now, our character level, we're going to generate one out to level 20. Nice and easy. No problemo. However, we do need to know, are we going to take our stat bumps or are we going to have feats? I don't have someone locked in for this, and so Cold Spark, will you please roll a D100 in chat to determine this for us? All right, with a 12, we're taking stat bumps all the way. ASIs only. Hey, Yanaril, good to see you back. Now, Senin, we're to you. Senin, you wanted to lock in rolling background with your inspiration points. Down below, it's that black exclamation point with the yellow explosion behind it. You can redeem those points to lock in a roll for a character. And so, Senin, will you please roll an 18-sided die to help us determine what our background will be for this character? And as you do that, let's update this. We are a chaotic evil, female standard human, Way of Mercy monk, level 20. All right, Senin rolls a 12. A noble knight. So not just noble, but the knight variant. A knight. Okay. Now, we're going to need some personality traits and an ideal bond and flaw. Yanaril, will you please type exclamation point roll space 2d8? Oh, well, welcome back. All right, Yanaril is giving us personality traits number 4 and number 6. And now we need an ideal, a bond, and a flaw. Who else is out there in Chatland? Let's see. Kevin, you've had one roll. Would you give me a 3d6? And then I'll call on some others to help finish up the randomized portion of the character. In fact, 1, 1, and 5. All right. Ideal 1, bond 1, flaw 5. Oh, okay. All right, James. Uh, 12 for 10. Are you still there? I do not see 12 for 10 in chat. So he might have gone. In that case, Cold Spark, can you give me a percentile roll in chat to let us know the age of our character? Or rather, the age, like, spread of the character. And as you do that, I'm going to go to Human. And we have a cat. Rolled a 6. Nope, that is one above the 5% chance to have a child prodigy. So we have a young adult. And for a human, biologically, that phase of life is 11 plus 1d6 years. And so, Van, will you roll a d6 in chat? Actually, type exclamation point roll space 1d6 plus 11. All the cat butt. Ow. Claws out of me. She is 12. Chaotic evil and 12 years old. You know, the innocence of children can only be matched, some might say, by how cruel they can be because they know not what they do. And so it is the purest form of cruelty, as it is just a game or it is just a way to learn. Hey, Golden, good to see you again. Golden, will you please type exclamation point roll space 2d10? Actually, she's 12. Let's have this be 1d10 instead. And Kevin, the weight modifier, why don't Nope, no, it's fine. We'll just take the first number. So she's 4'9", and then Kevin, can you give 1d4? No, it's fine, Golden. We'll just use the first one like we would in Roll20 with advantage. Kevin, I need you to use Mathrock's bot and roll a d4 instead. Times 3. All right. So she's 113 pounds and 4'9". Excellent. Interesting prompts. Interesting prompts. Now that we have the outline of our character, what we can do is start filling in the character. Let's explore who she is, what's gone on in her life. Let's consider how someone like this can exist in a world. Hey, Raz, welcome. Well, you know what? She's had a lot of growing up to do, Senin. And so that could be, you know, maybe she's been very well fed. It could be muscle as well. She could look very svelte, but have that lean muscle mass. And ultimately, you know, we can always the height and weight can get a little wonky if you have a really old or really young character. You know, we can adjust it as we will. Anyway, I hope you all are ready. Did you come to the workshop with your player's handbooks? I hope so. We're going to open them up to Chapter 4, Personality and Backgrounds. And we are going to go to Noble. Whoops, I went too far, everyone. I went back too far. There we go. Personality and Backgrounds. We're going to look up the Noble, and in particular, the Knight. No, Golden, don't apologize. I'm glad that you're here. You know, you had some time and you wanted to stop by and say hi. I'm happy for that. But if you're working, if you're paying your bills, if you're able to do the things that you need to do in life, I'm happy for you in that regard. You know, showing up and being a part of the community is awesome, but that's frosting on the cake. I'd rather know that all of you out there, you know, that, you know, you're safe, you know, you're warm, you're fed, you have the things you need, you're getting any debts paid off, you know, all that makes me super happy that you're achieving that in your life. And if you have a little bit of time or a couple bucks on the side that you'd like to spend with the channel, I will always do my best to earn and support that. But none of you have to apologize for not being here. She's been training in the room of spirit and time a lot. All right, now the Noble, I'm not going to read through this. It's in SRD stuff. You can read about it. You can customize it for your own world. And she's back. Hi. Are you going to put your claws in me? That wasn't nice. Miss Ma'am. We're going to have skill proficiencies in history and persuasion. We're going to have a tool proficiency in some type of gaming set. I'm going to come over to tools. And actually, we're going to bounce ahead real quick to Chapter 5 Equipment. And we can randomly determine which gaming set she enjoys. Oh, well, thank you, ma'am. That's very nice of you. So there are 4 that are standard issue. Senin, will you please give me a D4 roll in chat and help us determine which game she enjoys playing? Hi. You have to bat my camera with your tail? Rolled a 3. And so, playing cards. She plays cards. Now we're going to go back to personality and background. And though I am partially obscured by cattail, I promise that's not going to slow us down. We're going to make this character, gall darn it, concern it. There we go. We're going to end up with a language of our choice. And so, thank you. I'm going to represent that with some question marks. Of course, as a human, we get common and another of our choice as well. Then we're going to get a set of fine clothes. fine clothes, a signet ring, a scroll of pedigree, and if we want to replace any of this with a trinket, we can. Instead of a signet ring, maybe she carries some kind of an artifact that that is representative of her nobility or house. And so we can even put something like family token / trinket number something. Cold Spark says your attack skill modifier does get added to your damage with a weapon. Oh, you're answering Golden above. I got a question about damage and strength. Do they have 0 overlap? Because I guess that just doesn't correlate in my head, or am I not understanding? Yeah, so your ability modifier, not a skill modifier, your ability modifier gets added. So for here, if she's attacking with a strength-based weapon, and we'll use Dex as an example as well, then if her strength modifier is 5 and her proficiency bonus is 6, she is going to be attacking with a strength-based weapon that she has proficiency in using at a plus 11. Now, let's say that she's whacking something with a short sword. So that would be 1d6, and if she's using strength, 1d6 plus 5, as your strength modifier gets added to the damage die of the weapon. If we are attacking, or I guess in this case we're making a monk. Let's say our dex is 5 and our strength is 2. So this would actually only be a plus 8 to hit, and this would be a plus 2 to damage. Meanwhile, if we attack with dex, heck, even if it's the same weapon, a short sword can be used, wielded with dexterity or strength because of the finesse property. We would be swinging that weapon at a plus 11 to hit, and then that would be 1d6 plus 5 instead of the 2. So hopefully that answers your question, Golden. Are we making a strength monk? We could. Maybe we will. I don't know offhand, though, Cold Spark. Golden, can you please type !roll space 1d100 to help us determine which trinket is proof of her lineage? And we're also going to get a belt pouch or a coin purse, whatever you want to call it, that has 25 gold in it. Rolled a 50. All right, and we'll take a look at what that is at the end of character creation. Now, we have an option for a noble, let alone if it's a knight. We can take position of privilege, which means that we are singularly important and can gain an audience, with people of import, because we swing our nobility around. Or we can get retainers, in which case we would have 3 servants follow us around. Now, as we're a knight, that could be something like a squire, or you know, like quasi-combatants, but they're not really meant to fight. And I'm going to leave this open as we discover more about her personality. I will put that, so we might have position of privilege, or we might have retainers. And I want to float that as an option for when we get to that point. is I don't think we know enough about her just yet to find out what people or the world would offer her based on how she carries herself. Could end up being a guardian, someone sent to try and limit her destruction, or to kind of clean up or pay off anyone that has been damaged as she's learning. That could be. I mean, we have chaotic evil, and remember, chaotic evil doesn't mean she's just going to go around murdering people for poops and ha-has. It simply means that she's impulsive and she's selfish. Does that sound like a 12-year-old to any of you? I'm sure there's wonderful behaved 12-year-olds. You know, but a child, you know, who's still learning about the world is capable. I mean, did any of you ever take a magnifying glass to a line of ants when you were a kid? Did any of you... I mean, did any of you not listen to your parents and go where you weren't supposed to go, or do something you weren't supposed to do? You know, did you ever hurt someone that you didn't, you know, you didn't realize what you're doing and it ended up hurting someone? This is a way of playing chaotic evil and being true to being chaotic evil without having to be a Saturday morning cartoon villain. Yes, the modifier goes up on the even numbers, Golden. Though there is a mechanical benefit to jumping and weight capacity to odd numbers in the strength score. Alright, let's find out her personality so we can make more decisions about our character. Personality trait number 4 and 6. Oh, I went too far. We got to scroll up a little bit here. Number 4. I take great pains to always look my best and follow the latest fashions. So her sneakers light up. And they're probably a pair of BK Knights she won a Nickelodeon's Double Dare. Either no remorse, it's either no remorse on the back end and or no forethought up front. Exactly, West River Rat. Not many villains wake up in the morning and go, yeah, yep. I'm a bad guy. I'm gonna do evil things because I'm an evil person. And what is her other personality trait? Number 6. Despite my noble birth, I do not place myself above other folk. We all have the same blood. And of course, if you think you're equal to others, and you're willing to do the things that you accept and you find comfortable, you may have this kind of altruistic or, you know, at best, neutral at worst attitude, though you're still subjecting people to your opinion and your lifestyle. You're still making decisions on their behalf and just presuming that that's who they are. Again, self-centeredness. Feeling better? Okay. I'm glad. You see, look, you're the center of the universe right there. See the universe spinning around you? Yep, that's how it has to be, huh? Now, what is her ideal? Her ideal is number one, respect. Respect is due to me because of my position, but all people, regardless of station, deserve to be treated with dignity. She treats people the way that she's been taught she should be treated, which of course is pay attention to me. This is, you know, I was born into nobility, though I'm going to treat other people like nobles and hold them to the same standard, socially, economically, behaviorally. We can absolutely have a chaotic, evil character that has a good ideal of respect. She is inflicting respect on others without realizing what she's doing. It's like being it's like being insulted on someone else's behalf when you're not insulted and you're just presuming that someone else is insulted by what a third person has said. You're applying your standards and morals to someone you may not even know, and then forcing yourself into a position that you're an advocate for someone, implying that that person is helpless and needs you to feel insulted because they're too dumb to be insulted. Yeah, I'll respect the heck out of you with my words or my fists. You know, and so you go around saying, I respect these people. I respect, you know, as a noble, I respect the poor. And meanwhile, she wonders, you know, why do the poor people eat the way that they do? Or make the decisions that they do? You know, I have nothing but respect for the poor. But you know what? I think they're just too dumb to live their lives. And so if only someone could exert control over them and tell them what they can eat, when they should go to bed, if only they had someone, you know, to nanny them. Because I want the best for them. I am my heart goes out to these poor people. They just need to realize that they're living a bad life that I don't agree with, and I'm going to impose my morals on them. This is how we have the ideal of respect, and yet we're impulsive and selfish about it. Now, what is her bond? Her bond is number one. I will face any challenge to win the approval of my family. Her family might have sent her out to actually learn about the world. If she is being, you know, kind of an insipid girl in the palace or the manse or whatever it is that her family does or is. Pardon. And so they decided, you know, maybe because she's so impulsive, let's give her a task to accomplish, kind of dare her or double dare her to win that cool pair of BK Knights, just to for getting slimed. You know, by picking a giant nose's boogers. I'll face any challenge to win the approval of my family. And so she's been sent out. And we have a situation, you know, we're talking monks, or, you know, if you want to take this in an easterly, you know, in an oriental direction, what if she has the equivalent of Uncle Iroh following her around? You know, if we take retainers, you know, what if we have an Uncle Iroh who's trying to teach her life lessons and battlefield skills and pragmatism? And then she has, you know, she might have like a handmaid or something like that. You know, she might have a she might have a maid, even if not like a handmaid, but like a maid to follow and clean up and make sure that if there are womanly situations that arise, that she could talk to someone who could advise her there, as Uncle Iroh, quote unquote, wouldn't be able to. And the third retainer, if we go that route, because I'm really kind of leaning towards retainers, could even be just like an urchin we picked up off the street. You know, kind of the Bruce Wayne to the to the Catwoman in Gotham. You know, the early years of the villains and heroes kind of a thing. And so it's, you know, a friend, you know, someone who's a peer. And think about this from a storytelling perspective as a dungeon master. This is going to instill a sense of responsibility into the player of the character. Hold up a mirror. Because this person who claims to care about the unfortunate, the downtrodden, is going to realize, you know, throughout the game, kind of a redemption arc. Wow, I've been hypocritical. Wow, I've been worse to these people by claiming to be on their side and wanting to enforce things on them than they are to themselves, when my opinion was they don't know how to live. Meanwhile, they've existed and she's floundered or whatever. This character is set up for a beautiful coming of age and or redemption arc and or societal commentary, or like socio-economic political commentary. Whoa, it's a rare Nina. Welcome. Welcome, Nina. Good to see you. I hope you've been well. You're rare and shiny. Well, shinies are intrinsically rare. I think on any stream there's like a 1 in what, 2,500 chance that you might show up. If that's so, then I guess we've been Nina chaining, because we've gotten you to pop a couple times. Oh, doubly rare even. Oh, you're one of those what are they called now? Square shinies in Sword and Shield. All right, and lastly, what is her flaw? Her flaw is number 5. In fact, the world does revolve around me. Me. And also me. And me. Dang old Pokemon, I just Pokeball 1, 2, 3 snapping on them middle. Are we making another Nina? Well, that depends. Nina, were you a cruel, insipid 12-year-old who thought the world revolved around her and her family sent her out to go get some real-life edumacation to try and knock her down a peg? I mean, so this is kind of like, you know, with the Noble Knight, there's kind of an anime trope that there's like the trifling lolly, right? It's the young lady, especially noble, who's always sticking her nose in people's business, trying to, you know, trying to get reactions out of people. That kind of, you know, the superior laugh. But you're like, well, what are you gonna do? I'm a girl. You're gonna raise your hand to me? And so she's fitting this, the world revolves around me, I'm going to insert myself into other people's affairs, and my family absolutely hopes that we come back a better person because we are a brat. We probably have blonde twin drill hair. This is the level we're at with this character, everyone. And for anyone who's watched anime, you'll know that the peaks we're reaching if we're talking about a blonde-haired twin drill hairstyle character. So, see, Nina, yeah, Nina, you just go around and send in that trope of noise. All right. So there we go. The character is evocative for you. even if it may not be a delightful one that you enjoy. At the same time, Senin, if your jimmies are getting rustled by this character is engaging in some way. That's right. Oh, ho, 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 ho. And then poor Uncle Iroh following her around, and then her maid, and then like the poor urchin that she picked up, you know, so she can say that she has poor friends, you know, so she can make commentary about them because she has someone that she's kind of like paying or feeding to follow her around or something. Yeah, and so with that, you know what? I think retainers is absolutely the way to go for this night. Hey, Silver Pirate, welcome. Combat maid? Well, you know, that's something you'd have to talk to your DM about. You know, it does say here that if you wish to be a knight, choose retainers instead of the position of privilege. One of your commoner retainers is replaced by a noble who serves as your squire, aiding you in exchange for training or a path to knighthood. They're not expected to be combatants, but if your DM is fine with you traveling with, you know, just like a couple level 1s or whatever, or to make some sort of special sidekick consideration, sure, you could have a combat maid. Absolutely. Uncle Iroh is a maid. Yeah, see, you got to have that patience, right? You got to have the patience and let the kid, you know, whine, complain, you know, let the waves break on the rocks, but the rock will be there. And then when the waves subside, you know, they can look up to the rock, and the rock will, you know, will teach them about permanence and long-term thinking and all this other stuff. I haven't seen Overlord, so you'd have to describe the Maids of Pleiades to me, Nina. Not enough anime, says Nina. All right, so we know the background. We know the personality of our character. Even if it makes Senin itch a little bit, which is absolutely fine. So now that we have our character, we have the idea of this youngster going out into the world and gonna be taught a lesson. I have heard Overlord is great. I just haven't gotten to read it or watch it yet. There's spicy maids of varying degrees of hotness, and they're like boss-level monsters. Okay, so here I was thinking that it was like the maid in Black Lagoon. Shoot, what's her name? Rita? Oh, why am I... Shame on me for forgetting. If any of you remembers the maid in Black Lagoon, she had her own story arc, and ooh, that got crazy. Black Lagoon is fantastic, by the way. I'll recommend that one. Roberta! That's the one. Thank you, Roberta. Yes. Roberta the maid from Black Lagoon. Oh. It's ironic. Well, Senin, you know, we got an expression for that. Nina, she crazy. She cray-cray. You gotta watch out for that. It's Oh Sheeps! Oh Sheeps, it's Oh Sheeps. Welcome. Howdy hi. And it's a Crumb Draw Day? Oh, hail, hail, the gang's all here. We're getting the gang back together, everyone. And you know what? It's going to take a village to raise a child. We have we have a stuck-up, insipid 12-year-old epic level monk that is going to be put into the world to learn an important lesson. We have already gone through her background, and now it is going to be time to explore who she is as a human being. Not in a philosophical sense, in the sense that as a standard human, she gets a +1 to all of her scores. She gets 0 dark vision, 30 feet of run speed, 15 climb, 15 swim, 0 fly. And, common in another language. Congratulations, she is a human. She is a human. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. She is a human. Yeah, Crumdrade, she's got the, like, super yellow blonde hair with the twin drills. And she, oh ho ho ho, laughs. At least in this theater. So there we go. She's a human. We don't even need to go there. Off the top of my head, bippity boppity boo. And now we're going to make her a monk. We're not going to look just yet at the subclass. We're building monk as per class without consideration of the subclass. By level 20, our proficiency bonus is a +6. Our martial arts is a D10. We can even put that down here if we so wish. I mean, it's a strength or dex-based weapon. I don't know. But if you want to especially note it, it's 1d10. We are going to have a pool of key points. And that is going to be equal to 20. 20 key points. And unarmored movement, by this level, she is +30 feet. She is zooming around at the speed of sound, giving her a run speed of 60, 30 climb, 30 swim, no flying. Zoom. As a monk, she is a D8 hit die class, and she gets 20 D8 to reflect her 20 levels of monk. And she can use those hit die to naturally recover on a short or long rest without needing to drink a potion or have a friend expend a spell slot, etc. Next up, armor proficiencies, none. You're a monk, you do not need armor. Doesn't mean you can't wear armor, but you don't need armor. Tools, to choose one type of artisan tools or a musical instrument. And so, Crumdrade, will you please type !roll space, pardon, 1d4, odds. Odds, it is an artisan tool. Evens, it's a musical instrument. This is going to be a musical instrument. And so the musical instrument that she plays, we'll come back to Monk in a second. Oh Sheeps, since you just showed up, why don't you help us select the instrument that our little noble here, our ignoble noble, is going to play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so, oh Sheeps, give me a D10 roll, please. Rolled a 5. Not bagpipes, not drum, not a dulcimer, not a flute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lute. She's proficient at playing cards and learning the lute. She probably watched her mom play bridge with the other noble ladies and eating their bridge mix, which is a very fancy snack served out of a nice bowl. And then she was taught some how to play some strings in order to maybe help take a little bit of the edge off her tantrums and her proactive harm in the name of helping other people. Just when you thought she couldn't be any more obnoxious. Our saving throws are going to be strength and dexterity. And now we're going to get to choose 2 skills from acrobatics, athletics, history, insight, religion, and stealth. We already have proficiency in history from being a noble. Hey, you will never know. Oh, yeah. Well, if you're playing, roll well and have fun and make memories. Now, which skills would she have a proficiency in? Let's see. I take great pains to always look my best and follow the latest fashions. Despite my noble birth, I do not place myself above other folk. We all have the same blood. Respect is due to me because of my position, but all people, regardless of station, deserve to be treated with dignity. I will face any challenge to win the approval of my family. And, in fact, the world does revolve around me. If she is eager to prove herself, I don't know if she actually cares about other people's feelings, both with her alignment and her age. I mean, we have a chaotic evil 12-year-old here. I don't know if insight would be something that she would really use. She could be getting a religious education from her family or the servants that are following her around on this adventure. Hey, McGruber. You know what? If you want to make her even more difficult, more of a headache, you make her super proficient with stealth, and you just let her hide. We are making a Way of Mercy monk using the Unearthed Arcana subclasses 1 document. And right now we've applied everything up to the class. We're applying class traits. And then we're going to explore what the Unearthed Arcana is going to give this character. Acrobatics and stealth. Yeah, so, alright, so she is just zooming around at the speed of sound. I can dig it. Acrobatics could be even something like yoga. Acrobatics and stealth. Now, as for... Hey! Yo. A simple yo. McGruber, thank you so much for the re-up. 4 months, my goodness. McGruber, I am happy to continue to earn you coming back and you believing in the channel enough to subscribe. Thank you very much. And by the way, I don't know if he's still selling them, but McGruber has some really good jalapenos if you like some spicy stuff. Acrobatics, because look at me in all my glory, yes. Life does, and you know, McGruber, if you need to pick me up, if you need a group of friends to either listen to you or to give you some positive energy, hey, come back anytime you need it. Hopefully the curveballs haven't been too bad for you. But if they have, let us help in some way that we can. Yep, McGruber is still making some nice spicy jalapenos. Contact McGruber for reasonable pricing and good shipping. I don't know if I'm familiar with that one, Chrome Drade. Oh, all right. Well, hey, if you're staying busy, yep, MacGruber, that is an excellent project. Staying happy. Look, if you're working, you're paying your bills, you're taking care of what you got to take care of, and you're getting to do extra fun stuff on the side, you're employing your hands and your mind, I'm happy for you, brother. I honestly am. And if that means you don't get to watch as often, it's absolutely fine. I would rather you live your life to the fullest and take care of yourself, and by taking care of yourself, that you can then go on to take care of others, if you so choose, you know. That makes me happy. Obviously, I love the eyeballs on the channel. I love the chat activity. I love the community and catching up with people who haven't been around for a while. But you're a human being before you're a Twitch statistic. And if any of you ever think that that line is starting to be blurred, you call me out on that, okay? Please. We're not going to give her weapons, because look, she's level 20. She has martial arts, but she can use other weapons as well, like a short bow or quarterstaff. I'm not worried about the specific weapons, because by level 20, I don't know, you might have a legendary artifact that you want to give her or something. We're just going to worry about the to hit, go through the methodology of how to calculate that for purposes of a workshop, and continue on our merry way. We are going to get unarmored defense. If we're not wearing armor, our AC is 10 plus wisdom mod plus dex mod. We're going to learn martial arts. And of course that's reflected here, and there's the martial arts table. But we can simply put martial arts. We are also going to get to use ki. And there are different ways that we can use our ki. We get flurry of blows. We get patient defense. And we also get step of the wind. Now later on, we are going to get stunning strike. And so I'm just going to put that here, because we'll have earned it by the time we hit 20. There's a blurb about ki, how to use it, etc. I'm not worried about the pure mechanics of it to review it. It should be found in an SRD, you know, publicly available, if you don't already have a player's handbook for yourself. But I want to list what we have for basic consideration, maybe ideas to springboard for specificity, but we're not worried about the crunch of the character right now. We get unarmored movement, which is already reflected in our 60 run speed. Our monastic tradition, we'll get there, not just yet. We're going to get deflect missiles. We are going to also get slow fall. And by the way, for this character, we rolled into all ability score improvements. We're going to get an extra attack. There's stunning strike. Next is ki empowered strike. We are going to get evasion to help mitigate damage. And stillness of mind. We're then going to receive purity of body. Poison and disease does not affect us. We're also going to get the tongue of the sun and moon. We understand and can speak any language. Diamond soul. We have proficiency in all saving throws. And Timeless Body. Your ki sustains you so that you suffer none of the frailty of old age, and you can't be aged magically. You can still die of old age, however. In addition, you no longer need food or water. Oh, ho, 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 ho. I guess I'll keep my form for my entire life. Oh, ho, 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 ho. We have a Timeless Body. And we have an Empty Body, where we can spend ki to become invisible. And lastly, Perfect Self. At 20th level, when you roll for initiative and have no ki points remaining, you regain 4 ki points. It does, Yanarel. So, cool, right? We have our background. We have our humanity. We have what, you know, a baseline monk, regardless of your subclass of monk. Now we're going to dip into what is a way of mercy monk, as this set of playtest rules describes it. Monks, well, hopefully she can learn and grow at least mentally and emotionally, MacGruber. Monks of the Way of Mercy learn to manipulate the life force of others to bring aid to those in need. Oh my gosh, this works so well because she's such a conceited... She's a living embodiment of bless your heart. She means well. She doesn't think she's insulting or patronizing people. She claims to be an advocate for non-nobles. And in the process, you know, implies that they're dumb, can't live their lives, can't help themselves, etc. Well, I mean, it says none of the effects of old age, so presumably your body could still grow and mature to whatever the point is where you stop growing. You know, whatever that is in this world, or what is it for humans? Is like 16, or no, it's early 20s, isn't it? When you know, you stop growing or something along that, like physically. And so maybe her body just locks in at that point in time. It's 25. Okay. For women, it's 21. So, you know, I guess she'll grow, and because of her training, her ability, again, you know, if she has this bless her soul sort of mentality, maybe she was born with a particular blessing, or something happened, and so of course she has these powers, and she wants to use them as any kid would. But if the young adult section of a bookstore teaches us anything, it's that kids are dumb and abuse their power. And by the way, they can't help but be that way because they, you know, don't have the experience. They don't have the real life. That's exactly what this character is going to be sent on to do. All right. Monks of the Way of Mercy learn to manipulate the life force of others to bring aid to those in need. They are wandering physicians to the poor and hurt. However, to those beyond their help, whether ailing or evil, they bring a swift end as an act of mercy. She has the power. She wants to help, but maybe in her opinion, nah. I'm just gonna end it. Those who follow the Way of Mercy might be humble members of a religious order, administering to those in greatest need, making grim choices rooted in reality rather than idealism. Some might be gentle-voiced healers beloved by their communities, while others might be masked bringers of macabre mercies. The walkers of this way usually don simple robes with deep cowls, and they often conceal their faces with masks, presenting themselves as the faceless bringers of life and death. If you wear a mask, choose its appearance, or determine it randomly by rolling on the Merciful Mask table. Hey, Chris, welcome. And Hark, I hope Critical Role is going well. Are you enjoying the night's session? Chris, will you give me a D6 roll, please? What does our young monk's mask look like? Maybe this is what she wears to go and administer kindness to the populace. You're so enjoying it tonight. Is it kind of a goofy side episode? Is it super deep lore bombs? Is it a thrilling combat? Matt was out for blood tonight, so it does sound like a combat. Rolling a 5, a skull. There we go. So she is super edgy. I'm a skull. I'm a skeleton. I feel like I should get the reference, Kevin, but I'm not. Can you clarify? I just started listening to Crit Roll because my friend got super into it and I wanted to relate to her. Oh, yeah, like a Day of the Dead skull? Yeah, Nina, that might be, yeah, so that might be better, going around in, Dia de los Muertos. Well, I hope you enjoy the Rhino Sheeps. It's very popular. We get Implements of Mercy. You gain proficiency in the insight or medicine skill of your choice, and you gain proficiency with the herbalism kit and the poisoner's kit. Oh my goodness. She's good at playing cards, the loot, a poisoner's kit, and a healer's kit. I still don't think she's gonna take insight. She's actually not merciful. She thinks it's merciful. She's a kid who's making presumptions about other people, claiming to act on their behalf or to be insulted on their behalf or to work with them or whatever. And so I think medicine, because she'd rather go, oh, guts are cool, than to try and, you know, figure out that she is actually being very patronizing and a bit of a see you next Tuesday. They had exploding swamp zombies. What did they explode into? We also get Hands of Healing. Your mystical touch can mend wounds. As an action, you can spend 1 key point to touch a creature and restore a number of hit points equal to a roll of your martial arts die plus your wisdom modifier. When you use your flurry of blows, you can replace one of the unarmed strikes with a use of this feature without spending its key cost. So if you have an ally fighting next to you, you can go bah, bah, and then healing hand, flurry of blows, wah, off to the side, and bunk, give them some hit points. We also get Hands of Harm. Ooh, so many good things here at the 3rd level. You use your key to inflict wounds. When you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, you can spend 1 key point to deal extra necrotic damage equal to the roll of your martial arts die. If the creature is incapacitated or poisoned, the creature instead takes necrotic damage equal to 3 rolls of your martial arts die instead. You can use this feature only once on each of your turns. Yeah, Nina. You know, as people use parts of that to get capsules or boxes, it always seems to have a mysterious benefactor or two that restores it back to that number for some reason. Ah. So it was like a big defensive battle, like were they trying to control a hill or something? Then we have a noxious aura. Senin might argue that she's already noxious. As a bonus action, you spend 1 key point to turn your key into an aura of toxic miasma. The aura extends 5 feet from you in every direction, but not through total cover. It lasts for 1 minute. Until you're incapacitated or you dismiss it, no action required. While your aura is active, ranged attacks have disadvantage against you. Any other creature that starts its turn in the aura must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or become poisoned until the end of your next turn and take poison damage equal to your Wisdom modifier, minimum of 0. I don't know why they would specify minimum of 0 when every other minimum has been 1. I don't know if that's a typo or what that serves to clarify when everything else has been minimum 1 in my experience. I could be wrong about something, though. Alright, so she can spend some ki and have a noxious aura. Next up, we have a healing technique. Your skill in manipulating your ki to heal increases. When you restore hit points to a creature using your Hands of Healing, you can also end 1 disease or a condition from the following list affecting the target. So we're kind of a monk-paladin hybrid with lay on hands. And lastly, our subclass capstone is Hand of Mercy. Your mastery of life energy opens the door to the ultimate respite technique. As an action, you can touch a creature, expend 4 key points, and force the creature to make a Constitution saving throw. A creature can willingly fail this save. Unless the save succeeds, the creature enters a state of suspended animation for a number of days equal to your monk level or until you end the effect early. During this time, the creature is paralyzed, has immunity to all damage, and any curse, disease, or poison affecting it is suspended. The creature appears dead to all outward inspection and to spells used to determine the creature's status. You can have only 1 creature under the effects of this feature for a time. Crumdrade, the inspiration points, I don't believe are able to be shared. However, for people who do have a lot, because this is a very new program, I'm trying to pay attention to the things that you say or that you like to do, and I will adjust costs and or offer other things that you can do with your points. Is a ranged spell considered a ranged attack? Yeah, because there's a spell attack roll that you're making at range. McGruber has returned. Alright, we have the chassis for our character. It is now time to drop the engine in. We have our standard array, and then we're going to get to improve. Things with 10 extra points. Do you think it's possible to gradually go from living to undead? Yes, Golden, I do. You know, it'd be a good experiment in what's called the heap paradox. And if none of you are sure what the heap, H-E-A-P, paradox is, look it up. You'll have a fun little bit of philosophy. Dex and wisdom are important, and so I think those, you know, she is training to be the very best like no one ever was. And I think that having a 15 and a 14 here is going to work out well. After that, probably charisma, because she does love to be social and talk and show off. From there, probably, she's been given a noble's education, so probably a 12 intelligence, a 10 constitution, and an 8 strength. Yes, to punch them is her real quest. Hey, hey, Gaia's Ragnarok, it's great to see you again. With this, we're going to add in our standard human bumps. That's going to bring our charisma to 14, our wisdom to 15, our intelligence to 13, our constitution to 11, our dexterity to 16, and our strength to 9. We're now going to get all of our ASIs, which is 10 points that we can put into any of these to cap out at 20. If we wanted to, we could max out her dex and her wisdom, to make her, you know, nigh untouchable, and then we could probably throw that last point into Constitution if we really wanted to. If you're comfortable, not bringing wisdom up too much further, because really, you know, stuff like Stunning Strike, sure, your wisdom will increase the difficulty to resist. The Hand of Mercy as well. Wisdom isn't necessarily going to be as important. And because we can also heal, do we need the extra hit points from a Constitution bump? And instead we put we put it into charisma or something else. Oh, an undead changeling. How did that come about, McGruber? Yenarel, low wisdom, and you know what? You can play a low wisdom monk. AC can be important. Although, remember this, Senin. We wouldn't have to really worry about armor class if we're using Step of the Wind. And if we have a brash youth, she would have no problem using Step of the Wind and comboing some other key effects as well. And so, you know... Oh, hey! Ha! Thank you very much, Golden. I appreciate your re-up of your sub. And hi, Grimvex. Good morning to you. Dex, Con, and Wisdom to 18. So, Dex would be 2. Wisdom would be 3, so that's 5. We have 5 left. That would only bring Constitution to 16 if you wanted all 10 points in just those 3. Hey, Bubonic One, welcome. So if she doesn't mind using her key points because she's brash, she's the type who, I'm going to do everything now. I'm going to move fast. You know, I'm the best. I'm healing people. You know, people are going to come to me. No one's going to want to hit me. We could lower her wisdom and make her a low wisdom monk. If y'all wanted to. And that would probably reflect her selfish nature a little bit more, too. And so instead, we would probably swap that into... We would probably swap that into charisma. If we went 15 charisma and 14 wisdom. And we brought up Dex. If we brought up Dex to 20, if we brought up Charisma to 16, then we have 5 more points. Then we could put something in Constitution, Intelligence, and we have 3 left. So probably Strength, and then we get 2 more that we could plop down into Wisdom if we want to bring that up to 16 as well. So if we do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exactly. I think charisma is a big part of this character because she does have a forceful personality. All right, if we use 4 of those to bring dexterity to 20, let's put 1 point in charisma. Let's put 1 point into Constitution. We have 4 left. If we put, if we want to make her a little bit more well-rounded with intelligence, because you know she has received a noble's upbringing, we could. Now, if you want to just pump up wisdom to 18, hey, I think we have a decent charisma. If you want to take charisma higher as well, or go 2 and 2 with 18 charisma and 16 wisdom, a part of it's going to be mechanics versus roleplay. Where do you want to draw the line? If we put all 4 points into wisdom and giving her an 18, it will make her key harder to resist. You could argue that is an inflection or a representation of her forceful personality. It would also give her mechanical benefits of armor class. Are you sleeping with your eyes open? No, okay. You're just being a creep. Alright, that's fine. Hey, GM Vault. Bump Wisdom and Con. So a little bit more AC and then a couple more hit points. Sure. Wisdom at 16 and Constitution to 14. Or, again, if you want to keep her more of, you know, kind of, she's 12. If you want to keep her more ignorant in that regard, her AC may be lower, but she might have a ton of hit points to be tough, to have the diamond body. Aw, hey. Enjoy your super spicy salsa, 12 months. GM Vault, you have a red bowl now next to your name. In GM Vault, from the discussion from the prior week, how were you able to have that game with your friend? If it's tough to talk about, I understand. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I do, you know, it was a very meaningful thing that you shared, and I'm glad that you did, and I would, whether it's tonight or later, I would be interested in learning how things ended up. Alright, this is going to give her a strength of -1. This is going to give her a dexterity of 5, constitution of 3, intelligence of 1, wisdom of 2, and charisma of 3. And you know what? Again, if you wanted to drop it out of con and put it in charisma, I wouldn't blame you. I kind of like the fact we have a charismatic monk. Still, let's roll with what we have. That's going to give us a strength saving throw of 5 and an athletics of -1. Dexterity sleight of hand is 5. Everything else is going to be 11. Constitution save is 9. And that's even for the things that can affect her. Intelligence saving throw is a 7. History is a 7. Everything else is 1. Wisdom saving throw is an 8. Medicine is an 8. Everything else is a 2. Charisma is a 9. Persuasion's a 9. And the others are 3. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if it was still something he wanted to do, I don't want to refer to someone in the present tense in the past. You know, if that event was something that he enjoyed and wanted to do, let alone having visitors and the like, if it was meaningful, then you may not have gotten through the session 0 like you wanted. But I hope that that was still very relieving. Oh, that's great, MacGruber. And I want to hear how that goes. If you're willing to share that in our tabletop tales. Our passive perception's a 12, as that is 10 plus our perception modifier. That's our natural awareness. Of course, we're so full of ourselves that we're not really paying attention to what's happening around us, which is fine for this character. Armor class, if we're not wearing armor, it's going to be a 17, which is very respectable. And then, of course, I don't know, by level 20, maybe your DM has given you like a ring of shielding or something else to buff it up. But if we don't have any of that still, it's a respectable 17. And with all the crazy stuff a monk can do, you can milk that pretty well. Our initiative is a +5, since that's a dex check. Hit points. We get our full 8 at level 1. Our remaining 19 is half +1, so 5. And then for all 20 of our levels, we get bonus hit points equal to our Constitution modifier. So that is going to give us 60 bonus hit points. And then this is going to give us 95. This is going to be 155. Plus 8 is 163 hit points at level 20. If she's attacking with a strength-based weapon, that's a +5 to hit. If it's a dexterity-based weapon, that is an 11 to hit. No cantrips or spells. There is a save DC for her key, which is based on wisdom. And so that's going to be 8 plus 8 is 16. Oh, is it buffering? No, I am not dropping frames. Not as Slobs is telling me anyway. And just in case of a redundancy depending, I am not dropping frames on my end. Comma, but this happened to me earlier tonight. And you know what? For an impetuous little child, that's absolutely the world. In fact, that is her flaw. In fact, the world does revolve around me. And she has earned herself a name. She is no longer just a set of stats. And she's pretty well made, everyone. We have our way of mercy, spoiled child, noble knight monk. What a fascinating character. I'm really digging her. And I hope that you enjoyed her as well. If you all have suggestions for names, leave it in chat. I gotta get up. I'm gonna get out of this sweatshirt here, and go get something to drink, maybe something to eat, a little snack. And when we return, all these options are turning on, and we're gonna go unlimited character works on this. Okay, everyone?